For the last two episodes, the last 2 weeks, we've been on an interesting journey with Professor Hyginus Ekwuazi, who has been taking us through the Nigerian theater witnesses to history episodes and talking about filmmaking and the film industry and the way that he has participated along with others in the Nigerian theater industry to enrich your experience on all sides. Today, we will be rounding up his episode, his own contribution for now on this particular episode of the Nigerian Theatre Witnesses to History on the Tunde Laniyo podcast. And today, I'll just ask you to sit back and relax and soak in the wonderful, wonderful contribution of Professor Hyginus Ekwuazi. A company making so much profit in Nigeria will always revert to South Africa.
But that's actually the way it is done. It's simply when you allow a country to cheat you, it cheats you. You know? And if you see France, if France gives you a grant today to make a film, you have to source all the you use from France. So the money has to go back to where it is
coming from.
You see, I remember going to the National Council on Information when I was a teacher. I sent a memo to the National Council asking that every commercial that is intended for screening on the Nigerian screen must be made in local studios using local talents. I was told the time was not like a law, but now it has been passed.
Oh, it has been passed.
Now there's a policy to that effect now. So that's why I keep saying that today is better than yesterday and tomorrow will be better. So you can't do that now.
When was this passed?
It's not a law, it's a policy.
Okay.
No one thing with a policy is not enforceable. It's there. And if you monitor it very well, you can actually achieve much.
It can actually help.
Yes. So that is already there, that you don't take these things out, you're going to do them. Use local studios and things to do them. I think gradually we'll catch up with all this. But the comparison with South Africa is simply again that when you form the right agencies here, they will do the right things. If you don't form them, how do you want them to operate? If the NFC can only pay salaries, then what do you want it to do? And it can hardly pay salaries. So if you look at all those functions, beautiful functions you've listed for it, how is he going to perform them? There's no way the chief executive will perform those functions.
You think that the Film Corporation and the Censors and the
National Film and Video Censors Board.
Should be merged again.
Not just there are too many things happening. And I think we know it. Take even the schools. The NFI, the TV school, and the FRCM school, they should be merged. All these institutions belong to the Ministry of Information. Why do you splinter them like that? See Ghana, what's the school in Ghana? It's for it's a film and television college. Here we have a film, here we have television, and then we have radio. Different. We need to merge these things as one. And really, do you need a film corporation and the National Film and Video Censors Board? You need one agency to oversee all that. Call it Film Development Commission, whatever you want to call it. You can't keep it.
There can be an arm of that particular agency.
Yes, and then you find that agency will be more viable. Money made from this arm can be plowed into that arm and so on. And it will
can be sustainable.
It can be sustainable. Maybe one fine tomorrow that will be done. So we have a lot of these agencies that are duplicated. I hear that the government white paper has addressed these issues. So the
white paper.
Because that's why they tell the corporation.
It's good tomorrow.
Every day you hear film corporation is going to be commercialized, and then it will die down.
Today I was talking with someone and we were talking about the multiplicity of agencies doing
the same thing,
identical things.
The same thing. And then you don't know, you begin to ask, if this were your father's business, would you run it that way? I know I asked the question and somebody said, no, you see, if it's government, it takes time, it must consult. And by the time it's consulting, its lifespan has expired, so another government comes in and starts the process of consultation.
All over again.
Yes, and the thing goes on again.
In the next 10 years, where do you think Nigerian film and the training will be impacted? Particularly because we've seen a lot of people entering the industry and they have at times no clue what is to be done in that.
Now, let me tell you, see, like the meeting we came to attend in the NUC is reviewing 17 programs, and the mass comm has been unbundled into 8 programs. But what has happened is that film now occurs in 2 different areas. In mass comm, we have film and multimedia, BSc. In the arts, we have BA film. So that is at university level. So you are going to turn out these kids. And then we have a lot of these other institutions that are doing the same thing. So in terms of manpower, the industry will grow tremendously. In terms of manpower. The way we put it, and what the NUC has captured, is that you turn out people who will generate employment, not for themselves alone, but for others. You know, you should remember the study carried out by the Harvard Business School. It says one film creates 24 employments down the line.
Yeah.
And that was when we were dealing with one video. It creates 24 down the line. So by the time you have a very viable industry, that's what you're talking about. So within the next 10 years, you're going to see that the industry will truly. Now we're number 2. Within that span of time, we're going to get to number 1. I see that happening within our very lifetime.
What would you tell government? Because this is not only an area that can bring in a lot of income. In fact, that's affected the rebasing of the GDP.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the government be looking in that direction with more passion? It can help mop up a lot of people who may not be doing enough.
Yeah, the state governments are doing that.
Are they?
Yes, Lagos State is doing that.
How many of them?
No, but they are doing that. They are creating opportunity. They create short training. This is what they are trying to do, is to impact on the manpower area. And you see, the impact on the manpower is a structural something. It takes time to show.
That's Lagos State in the last 5 years.
Yes, Lagos State has done it. Has how many training programs? You have some NGOs doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then you have some universities doing the same. That is, I'm talking of short training, where the people can then come for 6 weeks or something and then go into the industry. So this is being done because you realize that has the capacity. And take what what do you call it? DSTV is doing. DSTV has this talent factor.
Yes.
Where it is training people to.
That's right.
So you have all these things coming up. They will, of course, impact on the industry. I don't see the industry regressing. I see it progressing in the next 10 years. I see it seriously progressing. Because once you're taking care of the manpower end, you're taking care of 50% of the indices that you need for growth. You know? Yes, I do agree that government then has to put some money here and there, and so that's inevitable. My feeling
is that why I'm saying that is, if government is doing that, I'm sure that other money will chase that, will chase the opportunities in that area.
Government will tell you that with the Bank of Industry, it is already doing that. Because you can get a single-digit loan in the Bank of Industry if you want to make it.
No, I'm not even talking about. Look, give small grants.
I know.
To
there was a time that was not available. Sometimes something is being done.
Yeah.
Remember, we're looking into the crystal ball to see what
will happen in the future.
I see government recognizing the fact that yes, I need to create a grant. You see, because the only time that has happened was when Jonathan was it was not sustainable. I see that happen. Maybe a film fund, maybe an endowment fund for the arts generally, and then film will take its own portfolio from there. I see that happening.
But Babangida mentioned that in 1989.
But that is when you do have a government that takes culture seriously. Culture is not being taken seriously at all.
That is affecting all the areas of theatre.
The aggregation of resources and the distribution of resources, culture always takes the last, the bottom. You know? So, but in spite of that, culture contributes more than the so-called science or the so-called
science and tech.
Tech area.
Hard science.
Yeah, you know. So within the 10 years, we are going to see the progress. You know, and it will be very remarkable. Nobody who thought when celluloid was dying and when the reversals came that we were going to have this exponential growth in production. Nobody thought of it. And technology has said matters. And technology, remember, technology has nothing to do. We don't invent, we don't create, we use. So technology, in spite of us, will still grow.
Yes.
And it will grow and open up other opportunities within that 10-year period.
Yeah.
How does technology? I think technology reduces. I think it's 3 to 5 years long,
Yes.
and it turns around.
Yes. Yes.
So I see quite a lot happening in the 10-year period.
I want to thank you for sparing us this time, putting your thoughts before our audience, who can feel the usefulness of belonging in that industry, of not feeling frustrated, of having hope that a lot of beautiful things can happen, and perhaps also understanding that they need to be trained so that they can bring better creativity into the mix. Thank you very much, Professor Hyginus Ekwuazi.
My pleasure.
And we believe that if we still want to talk to you or want you to clarify things or people want to ask questions, you'll be willing to.
And let me be clear, this is a very good thing you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank
you
very much. My pleasure.
I appreciate you. What a wonderful experience. I want to thank Professor Hyginus Ekwuazi again for his wonderful work in the Nigerian theatre in the area of film making, film studies. He has done that for nearly 40 years before he retired. And I want to ask you that as we round up on today's episode, that you'll join me again next week on the Tunde Laniyo podcast, Nigerian Theatre Witnesses to History, when we bring you another guest. Until then, continue to join us on YouTube, where we bring you a new episode every Thursday at 6 o'clock. And you can be enriched by watching those who have participated in bringing the Nigerian theatre to where we are today, to this very great point in which the Nigerian theatre is contributing greatly to the economy of the country. Until then, continue to subscribe, continue to share, and continue to be part of this great experience. Bye.